So I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on the aquaponics system here today and let you know the changes that we made and what's going on with it exactly here in the middle of June. What we decided to do was take all the fish out of our fish tank here on the west end and put them down in the sump tank. And we did that for two reasons. One reason is the water temperature. The water is just a lot cooler down in the sump tank since it's in the ground. So the fish were a little bit more comfortable being in that cooler water. And we decided to make this into a large swirl filter. So kind of as you can see, we're collecting all of our solids here on the bottom of this tank, and we'll just periodically clean it out. That way we don't have as many solids going to our grow beds and stuff as we had before. And we'll take a look at it right here. You notice there's no greenhouse cover on it, and that's because we had a couple of storms come through, and we actually lost the greenhouse plastic in a high windstorm that we had. It just kind of came in, blew about 70 or 80 miles an hour and just destroyed the plastic that was on the greenhouse. So we decided to go ahead and wait till fall to recover it and just kind of let things be what they are. So we'll come in here and look at it real quick. We lost the rail system here on the south side totally. It just the wind just moved it around and just destroyed it. Here on the north side, we continue to run the rail system, but it's not doing as good as I'd like. Seem to have flow issues with flow in it, and I kind of figured I might, but this is just an experiment. This whole system is an experimental system. I'm not going to build my production system until next year. So we're just running experiments and doing different trials and things. So it's not, that big of a deal that this is not really working out. Like I said, it's just a trial. But we have a few tomatoes coming on. It's been really hot here in Oklahoma, and these tomatoes are just not really setting fruit in this type of heat. Even though we got a little bit cooler weather coming this week, it's been up to 108 degrees already, and tomatoes just don't set fruit in that kind of heat. So we do have quite a bit of growth, and things are still kind of hanging on, but they're just not standing up to the wind. Without the cover on, the wind just destroys everything. So not much we can do, but just kind of let things ride and wait till the fall, recover it, and get ready to plant all of our fall crops. But we found out what we needed to know on a lot of this stuff. These tomato plants here, these Lozanos, they're just jamming in these Dutch buckets, and we're getting quite a bit of ripe fruit on there now. So we'll be saving a lot of these seeds from these, and we'll be definitely replanting these in our production system probably next spring. Let's come on down here and we'll look at here's our green beans that we replaced when we had the onions in here, and they're not really doing real well. Like again, this is just a trial to see how well green beans grow in these DWC systems, and they don't seem to be doing all that well. So we probably won't replant any more green beans in the DWC systems. We'll come down here to our next deep water culture system where we held over some of the onions. And we sold all the onions as green onions earlier in the year, and we just wanted to see how well these would develop through the summer and how well they would take the heat and how well the bulbs would actually develop. And I'm surprised to say that they have done quite well. Let me pull this one out here and I'll show you guys. So here it is right here. This is a 2-inch net pot, and this got this onion growing in it, and it's growing just like I thought it might. It's just kind of sitting right on top, and it's really starting to make a bulb on it right now. And there's several more in here that are doing the same. As you can see, we're just letting these kind of go and seeing what kind of bulbs we can do. So we'll definitely be doing onions in the DWC again next year in our production greenhouse. I'll set that in there for right now. So that's one thing that really has worked out well for us, is these onions. Now the green beans here in the gravel grow bed, they have just been destroyed by the grasshoppers. Since we don't have a greenhouse cover, we have no way of keeping the grasshoppers out. And you know, running an aquaponic system, you really can't spray and kill these grasshoppers. You can't spray any chemicals or anything, so the grasshoppers are just going to take them. We're still getting quite a few beans off of them. You can see there's a lot of beans on there, but the grasshoppers are just kind of having their way with them right now. And like I said, it's not the end of the world. This is, like I said, this is just our trial greenhouse, or whatever you want to call it. This is just where we do a lot of experiments and stuff to you know, help gain knowledge and help figure out what methods work and what don't, and stuff like that. And we know these green beans do quite well in this system, and especially in these gravel grow beds. So just as long as we can be fortunate enough not to lose the greenhouse in the storms, these would have been fine. They really would have done well. So we're just gonna you know, harvest what we get and eat what we got, and revisit it next year. So we'll go down here and take a look, and I'll show you guys what our pond is looking like, and show you the reason why we actually grow with this method to begin with here in western Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and cut the video, and we'll go look at the pond. So this is the pond that we have here on the property where we have our greenhouse, and you can see there is no pond. This is what you kind of deal with when you live in a semi-arid climate, the way where we live here in western Oklahoma. We have prolonged periods of drought, and this year has been exceptionally bad. We've had no rainfall this year really to speak of, and it's already June. It's been up in the upper 90s, near 100 degrees a lot of days here in June, and we have no water. Our fishing pond that we have on another piece of property is maybe 20% full or less now, and it's in real danger of drying up, and we're in real danger of losing the entire pond down there. And we're looking to try and remedy that pretty soon with trying to maybe drill a well down there to keep water down there at least. But anyway, this is why we set up an aquaponic system, just because there's not enough rainfall to grow a conventional garden, in my opinion, in the climate that we live in. It's just almost impossible to put enough water on your vegetables to get any kind of harvest. So if you're going to garden in, you know, these hot climates, these dry climates, you need to do it hydroponically or aquaponically. Either one works. You know, something where you can, you know, water the plants at all times and kind of control the water situation in your system and not have to rely on Mother Nature to water your garden. We are using rural water for our system, so we do have to pay for it. It's not well water or anything like that. So, you know, it costs money. We pay a water bill every month. That is, you know, for just that aquaponic system. So it's not a lot of money. It's not near what you would spend if you was trying to water it every day out of your regular garden hose. So it's quite a bit cheaper to you know, water something with an aquaponic system than it would be just watering it in the ground and wasting the water, just putting it on the ground and it soaks in and it's gone. So at least this way we're recirculating, you know, the water, and I think you use about 90% less water in an aquaponic system than you would in a conventional garden. So anyway, there's a little update with what's going on with the system and what's going on with our climate here. See, the deer have been down here trying to get a drink of water, and they're gonna have to go somewhere else as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll bring you guys some more updates on the aquaponic system probably later on in the fall, whenever we get it recovered and start planting out our fall crops. So we'll see you on the next one.